Jesutodimu, thank you for joining us. What legal precedents or constitutional provisions are most relevant in determining the outcome of this case?
Well, the matter is in courts. Parties have presented their case. Unfortunately, in this instance, Nnamdi Kanu has refused to file a defense, and the reliance will be placed on the case filed by the prosecution. I haven't said that. The Constitution gives every defendant a right of fair hearing, and he has waived his right to fair hearing because he did not file a defense. So the court would only examine the evidence that is before it. If the prosecution is able to prove his case, because the law is very clear that you must prove your case beyond reasonable doubt. If the prosecution is able to do a good job of proving their case beyond reasonable doubt, the courts would rule in their favor, and if it's not, it will rule in the other way.
So how have procedural fairness and the right to fair trial been maintained throughout the years of this trial?
Well, as it stands, the court has, over the time, asked him to, that you will see that there have been instances that the matter has been adjourned for him to be able to present his own case, to open his defense. And of course, if you fail to open your case after a particular time, the duty of the court is to determine that the defendant has waived his right to defend the suit, because the matter cannot be in perpetuity. There's a timeline for delivery of justice. There's a timeline for delivery of for hearing a matter. And after the necessary opportunity has been given to the defendant, if he fails to do that, if he fails to open his defense, the prosecution can apply that the right of the defendant to defend a suit be foreclosed because he has failed to defend the suit in the required time.
So how does this trial address the wider implications of freedom of speech, self-determination, and of course, political dissent in Nigeria?
Well, there are proper procedures to ask for, of course, for fair to address the public, to make your agitations known. And in this instance, the federal government is saying that no, the way Nnamdi Kanu has approached the matter is treasonable. And of course, if they have gone to court to say that this is treason, the duty is on the defendant to say that no, I have not crossed the line. I am only exercising my right of fair hearing as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And let us be very clear on this, that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as of today, gives Nigerians the right to defend themselves. It gives Nigerians the right to a right of fair hearing, the right to gather. And of course, all these things must be done in line with the proper procedures of the law. And the federal government is saying that this was not done. That's why they have gone to court to enforce the rights of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it is the duty of whoever has been charged. To answer your question and to wrap it all up, is to say that Nigerians have a right to express themselves. They have the right of freedom of expression. It's inherent as per the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It cannot be taken away from Nigerians. Yes.
Okay, Jesutodimu, the IPOB leader kept insisting that the court lacks a jurisdiction to try him. On what basis is he doing that? Well,
it is within his right to, the law is very clear. The truth of it is that the law is very clear that if you have the issues of jurisdiction is sacrosanct in law. If you feel that the court does not have jurisdiction, it is within your right as a defendant to raise the issue of the jurisdiction. And when this has been raised, the court is bound to look at it and address it. If the court doesn't address it properly, it is the onus is on the defendant or whoever is alleging that the court doesn't have jurisdiction to approach a court of appeal. Because, this is just a trial court. There's room for appeal. It can actually appeal if he feels that the decision of the court is not sound, the reasoning of the court is not sound, irrespective of whether the court has jurisdiction or not. So you can enter a defense. And the court would, I'm sure that the court would address the issue of whether it has jurisdiction or not in its judgment.
Okay, how will the judgment impact the prescription status of IPOB and the other related organizations within Nigeria's legal framework?
Well, I mean, as it stands, IPOB is not on trial. Other factions agitating for whatever every other claims in Nigeria are not on trial. As of present, the only person on trial is Nnamdi Kanu. He's being tried as a person, not as IPOB. And now, so that means that, of course, it will also lay a precedent for other parties to, other agitators to follow, because it's going to be a precedent on how they should go about their agitations, what steps to take, what legal remedies are available to them. And so it means that, of course, no matter how this plays out, it's still going to affect our jurisprudence in respect of states or tribes wishing to disengage from being part of Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much, Jesutodimu Ige, for lending your voice to this.
Yes.
Oh, sincere apologies for that. Thank you for joining us. Going back to speak on the Nnamdi Kanu trial that's currently ongoing, and we still have our guest legal practitioner, Jesutodimu Ige, still on standby. Thank you for still being here with us, sir. I want to find out now, earlier on, the presiding judge did say that Kanu has failed to put his defense despite opportunities that has been presented by the court. What is your reaction to that?
Like I mentioned earlier, that Kanu has been given the opportunity to put forward his defense. And the event that he has failed to file a defense, the court would assume rightly, because I would assume rightly that he has no defense to the charge. And as a result of that, the court would proceed to give and enter judgment based on the case of the prosecution.
So, I mean, we also have an information about the Kanu saying that there was no, I think I asked that before, and talking about the extradition, that the judge did say that Kanu's extradition has nothing to do with the outcome of the trial. Can you also comment on that?
Yes, the court would only concentrate on the charge that is before it. The court would not address any extraneous matter. Having said that, if Kanu feels that he was not properly extradited, there are remedies available to him in court. He can go to the international court. He can, where he was extradited, he can also maintain an action against the government of that nation to get the necessary remedies. However, it is, alien to the charge that is currently before the courts. And if the court rules over or on the matter of his extradition, it might not, it might not be enforceable on the prosecution or the state, because it is not a charge that is before the courts.
All right, thank you, Jesutodimu Ige. We still have Joshua Imarayi, who is live at the court for the proceedings. Joshua, what do we have so far? What other information do we have so far?
Group Executive Director. His name
is ruling on some of the issues raised during the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. And one particular judgment he has made, and one particular ruling he has made, is with regards to the extraordinary rendition as alleged by Nnamdi Kanu. Justice James Omotosho confirmed that for a case like that, there are remedies, and the remedy usually ends in a financial settlement. And aside that, he says Nigeria is part of one of the countries who signed a treaty for extradition, and such treaty might cover cases like this. He also made some comments about how Nnamdi Kanu has delayed the entire proceedings knowingly through some of his earlier actions, saying that he wanted to take a medical leave and he needs to be treated in one of the national hospitals here in Abuja and the likes. Justice James Omotosho says that those earlier actions were just aimed at delaying the entire proceedings, and that it was akin to a prosecution to be delaying proceedings, but subsequently he's seen the defendant engaging in some such antics, according to what he said, and he says it is unbecoming. Justice James Omotosho is still ruling on the case, and we are expected to get the crux of the judgment at the end of the day. Blessings.
All right, Joshua Imarayi, thanks for the update. We'll definitely still be looking out for more information as the proceedings continue.